Nightly greetings, one and all. William Theo here, homegrown and happy to bring you the major events unfolding here and all across the planet within the 24-hour news cycle. And we kick off today with the Brazil's Rio de Janeiro getting a much unwanted hot streak over the weekend. Spring has barely begun, and it's as if the dog days of summer have arrived, leaving people sweltering and looking to cool under the shade in many parts of the world. In party town and tourist favorite Rio de Janeiro in the southern hemisphere, residents and natives are searching for as many open spaces and tree shades in the park they can find to cool down as the mercury soars and sets record temperature highs. In the western part of Rio, the heat index hit a whopping 60.1 degrees Celsius on Saturday, the highest since the Rio alert system began taking count in 2014. Because of the heat wave over the weekend, most of the country are on high alert due to health risks posed by the scorching heat outside. With all the votes in since yesterday, poll authorities, state workers did not take long to announce the pretty lopsided and foregone results that had reigning Russian president and re-electionist Vladimir Putin cakewalk through the imaginary opposition and winning an unprecedented sixth term as Russian president. And soon, the usual suspects of friends, fans, and political allies from all over the planet began sending their congratulatory messages to the Russian strongman who, if he manages to stay in good health and out of danger, will retain power until the end of the decade in 2030. Among the ones who greeted him for the win include former Russian Dmitry Medvedenko, who congratulated Putin hours before the polls closed on Sunday. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian, who also sent President Xi Jinping's congratulations, Bosnian Serb leader Milorad Dodik, and Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro. Meanwhile, Volodymyr Zelensky dismissed the poll results as illegitimate. British Foreign Minister David Cameron said the elections lacked a choice for voters and appeared to be neither free nor fair. His Italian and Czech counterparts Antonio Tajani and Jan Lipavsky also echoed the same misgivings. In America's Northwest, followers and believers of freedom fighter Alexei Navalny gathered to celebrate the fallen leader of the Russian opposition and wrote letters to the growing list of political prisoners in Russia. VOA's Natasha Moskovaya narrates the full story.
In the past month, this makeshift memorial at the Peace Garden near Seattle's Space Needle became a site where many Russian diaspora members came to express their grief for the late opposition leader Alexei Navalny. About 40 opposition activists again gathered here Sunday as the presidential elections weekend unfolded and Vladimir Putin, in power since 1999, claimed a landslide victory in a non-competitive election.
I know they just draw these results, and that's completely fake.
Artem Tomilin, who left Moscow a year and a half ago, came to the memorial for the 10th time this month with a brand new tattoo of Navalny, who, according to Russian authorities, died February 16 in an Arctic penal colony. Navalny was 47.
He was and is a Russian opposition leader who really inspired me.
Activists signed a petition calling on the U.S. Congress to not recognize the Russian results. Mitch Gold says most Russian citizens in the U.S. did not have access to the polls to submit a protest vote.
The only locations that people can vote abroad is Houston, Texas, in New York, and the Washington, D.C. embassy. And that's for the multi-thousand population of Russian Americans that are willing and wanting to have a change in Russia for the better, for the democracy, and to end the war and the aggression towards Ukraine.
Agata Yanturina says that for her family, the military indoctrination in preschools was the last straw, leading them to leave Russia. But she says she still has hope for change.
As sad as Alexei Navalny's death was, it mobilized a lot of Russians to fight against the regime, and I think it will continue and grow.
The event culminated with writing letters to the lengthening list of political prisoners. Last year, Mariana Markova was sending letters on a regular basis to 18 political prisoners in Russia. This year, her list has grown to 37. Following the polling station's protest, the number of political prisoners is likely to grow exponentially, says Markova.
My friends in Moscow live in constant fear. You cannot say Navalny, you cannot say war, you cannot talk about anything. The recently adopted new laws have allow everything can be a plan for a terrorist act.
Russian opposition activists in Seattle are currently petitioning the local authorities to establish a permanent memorial for Alexei Navalny and vow to continue the struggle for the beautiful Russia of the future he envisioned. Natasha Mozgovaya, VOA News, Seattle, Washington.
At this moment, let's turn to my colleague in PTV's Pine City studios for the recent developments in the Cordilleras. Ala?
Naimbag Arabi Pilipinas, arapaaplat ti lokal na gobyerno mapagbalin a syudad ti La Trinidad at sentro ti Benguet. At amat tingakat iti kongreso para iti daytoy. Kurang pa iti land area ti La Trinidad, kasapulan ti 10,000 hectares, ngam 8,000 hectares laang ti munisipyo. San pay ngamin ang narisot ti boundary dispute iti nagbaetan ti La Trinidad ken Tublay. Kurang batla ang ti income ti munisipyo ti agrup 7 million pesos amay sa kadagiti kasapulan a konsiderasyon. Tapno mapabiit daytoy nang ipila iti gakat ni Benguet Lone District Representative Eric Goyap tapno agbalin a syudad ti capital town ti Tunggal probinsya. No maaprobaran, otomatiko nga agbalin a syudad ti La Trinidad uray pay asanda ang naragpat dagiti requirement.
Marami daw out of how many province, marami nang nag-city na capital town. Kunti lang, kaya lang sabi daw ng mga city mayors, dadagdagan nyo pa, marami nang ang city, capital town na nag-city.
Iti dumapay adamag addan dagiti nabigbig a lugar iti syudad ti Baguio apakaipasdegan dagiti parking building. Solusyon daytoy iti lokal na gobyerno iti kumarkano a parikot iti trapiko iti syudad. Sa nga pulok at siyam a parking sites ti nabigbig ti lokal na gobyerno iti uneg ken maruar ti Central Business District. Masud daytoy iti Smart Mobility Program tarigagay ti lokal na gobyerno a marubyan ita atawet. Untirya ti lokal na gobyerno madan iti 21,000 aging 24,000 parking slots. Tunggal parking building adan iti 150 slots para iti anyaman akita ti lugan. No agbaligi ti Baguio City ti kaunan amadaan iti Smart Mobility Transportation System iti Pilipinas.
This parking building should be situated outskirts, outside the CBD. Kasi kung CBD lang, parking buildings will generate traffic also. Okay. Luckily, 19 ang na-identify. Ang trabaho dito ay to address the traffic situation. Kasi ang traffic situation ng Baguio, you cannot control it anymore. You have to manage it.
Dagiti damdamag manipod ito'y PTV Cordillera at siyak ni Ana Sunduan. Naimbag, Arabi.